His own father is the master of Violet Star, one of the most powerful people in the entire Star Territory. He stomped his foot and the entire Star Territory was shaken 3 times. He actually gave way to a young man who had provoked and insulted him before? Zidong could hardly believe his ears, and secretly felt that this world was simply crazy. Shut up first. Zilong glanced at him faintly, extremely majestic, and when he touched his gazes, Zidong immediately did not dare to speak again. Is this an apology? Yang Kai grinned. Zilong frowned and said faintly, yes, that's it. Since it's an apology, then I will reluctantly accept it. Reluctantly. Zidong almost vomited blood angrily. The master of Violet Star take the initiative to apologize. Not only did this kid not know how to be grateful, but what did he say, reluctantly? Doesn't he know what an honor this is? This bastard is unforgivable. But what do you want to do? Yang Kai ignored Zidong's gaze, but looked at Zilong with a smile, and asked deeply. Apologizing for this kind of thing will be over with a lick of lips, no loss at all, so Yang Kai didn't take Zilong's words to heart at all, but the other party's attitude made him secretly wary. He didn't believe that Zilong couldn't see the heart demon he had planted for Zidong just now. He didn't believe that Zilong was so generous and would not care about his previous provocations and insults. The master of Violet Star is really terrible. I don't want to do anything to you, but I want to ask you if you are interested in joining our Violet Star. Zilong looked at Yang Kai with a solemn expression, and asked. Join Violet Star? Yang Kai chuckled. Yes, although your cultivation level is not in the Void King realm, but based on your performance just now, this king can give you the status of high-ranking guest elder. High-ranking guest elder. Zidong couldn't help it anymore, and couldn't help but whisper. The high-ranking guest elder of Violet Star is not the same as high-ranking guest elder of some sect family. This represents a kind of strength and an identity. Now there are only 7 high-ranking guest elder on Violet Star, and each of them is a powerful person in the Void King realm. Moreover, the elders of the Violet Star have always been the Void King realm. But now, the master of Violet Star is personally inviting a martial artist of the 3rd Order Void Return stage to join Violet Star. And promised such an identity. Speaking of this kind of thing, the entire Star Territory will shake. High-ranking guest elder Yang Kai chuckled, didn't mean to move at all, and shook his head. No, I've always been idle and don't like to be restrained. So this high-ranking guest elder is not appropriate. Is this man a fool? Zidong looked at Yang Kai like an idiot. Doesn't he know how much weight the words high-ranking guest elder represent? Didn't hesitate to reject it simply? Zidong gasped deep in his heart. High-ranking guest elder is not restricted by my Violet Star, have all the freedom. The little friend seems to have misunderstood my proposal, Zilong explained patiently. Before he finished speaking, Yang Kai interrupted, no need to explain, I know what high-ranking guest elder is. It's just, I don't want to join any forces. Zilong narrowed his eyes and said with a faint smile on his face, little friend, you don't want to think about it carefully. You are very talkative. Yang Kai looked at him contemptuously, without giving him any face. Zilong's face immediately sank. Haha, kid, you are right to refuse. Su Wei gloated on the sidelines, don't believe his rhetoric, if you really agree to him, you will be in trouble in the future. But your temper is really good to the old man taste. Do you want to consider joining the abandoned hideout? You offend this guy now. In the future, it will be difficult to mix in the Star Territory, but you don't have to be afraid of their Violet Star when you join abandoned hideout. The old man will protect you, with your abilities and character, I'm sure you will soon break out of the world from the nest. You are also very long-winded. Yang Kai turned to look at Su Wei, and sneered, 2 old foxes. Do you think I don't know what you are doing? Want to delay the time? As soon as this remark came out, both Su Wei and Zilong's expressions changed slightly, and it was obvious that they weren't really trying to convince Yang Kai to join their force. Although Su Wei and Zilong did not deal with each other, they were enemies. But seeing Yang Kai approaching the nearby water, the 2 of them naturally felt a sense of crisis. Both of them were very scheming, and there was no need to discuss anything. They all knew what to do to delay the time and wait for the 7 bright treasure light to retreat. After being broken by Yang Kai, Zilong's face suddenly became difficult to look, and he said coldly, "Boy, it's not a good thing to be too smart. Don't think that you can escape from the palm of this king by being proficient in a little space force. You are just a void return stage, doesn't understand the horror of the Void King realm at all, and this king is extremely strong even in the Void King realm. If you want to rely on your own space force, you would be very wrong. This king will now give you a chance to pick the comprehension principle flower and give it to this king, and this king will let you go." He has completely torn his face with Yang Kai. Ha ha ha. Yang Kai laughed, "How amazing is the Void King realm! I have killed more than one Void King realm." Rampant. Zidong pouted sharply on the side. Even a genius like him who can fight beyond the higher realm cannot pose any threat to a Void King realm at the peak of the Void Return stage. On the contrary, it is easy for them to kill him. Void Return stage and Void King realm are separated by an unbridgeable gap. So he subconsciously thought Yang Kai was talking nonsense. But he didn't know that Yang Kai had really killed more than one Void King realm, and he had also killed a second-order Void King realm. Even though it was with the power of the Star Emperor token, it was also an experience. If Zidong came to know of this, he would definitely be ashamed. "Forget it, I'm too lazy to care about you." Yang Kai turned around with a sense of interest. Although he had been grinding his mouth with Su Wei, Zilong, and the others, he had been calculating the time for 7 bright treasure light to recede. There is also a stick of incense, which is plenty of time. "Wow, a good scent of medicine!" Yang Kai exclaimed exaggeratedly, and then took a deep breath of the fragrance from the 5 comprehension principle flowers in front of him. With an intoxicated and dying expression on his face, "Well, worthy of its name comprehension principle flower, the Taoist rhyme contained in it is really extraordinary. I feel that my bottleneck is a little loose. How can it be this good?" While talking, he scratched his head and looked very embarrassed. He was bluffing over there, as if selling something he get cheaply with a high price, but Zidong's eyes were red when he heard it. Just inhaling the aroma of the medicine loosened the bottleneck? Yang Kai is the same as his cultivation realm, both are at the peak of the third-order Void Return stage, only a short chance is needed to be promoted to the Void King realm. And now, Yang Kai is undoubtedly seizing this opportunity. However, when Zidong came, he could only hide away from 100 meters away, looking blankly but could do nothing. This kind of thing caused Zidong to suffer physically and mentally, and he couldn't wait to rush forward to give him a punches. His fists were clenched, and there was a clicking sound. No way, promotion in this horrible place is tantamount to seeking a dead end. I shall quickly suppress the floating internal chi, and make a breakthrough when it is safe in the future. Yang Kai shouted again. Zidong was really about to vomit blood. The opportunity he couldn't ask for was placed in front of Yang Kai, but he was abruptly suppressed by him. Is there anything in the world that is more shocking than this? Zidong felt that encountering Yang Kai in the Lost Earth this time was simply the biggest nightmare of his life. He has been hit by Yang Kai and his body is exhausted. Boy, it's enough. Seeing that his son's expression was wrong, Zilong couldn't help yelling at Yang Kai. Yang Kai squinted at him, then rubbed his hands. He looked like horny ghost meeting a naked beauty, and his saliva was almost flowing down. The image was so unsightly, he stretched out his hand and collected the comprehension principle flowers. With just a slight tugging, Yang Kai directly pulled out the comprehension principle flower by its roots, without any loss of roots. In fact, it is reasonable to say that the collection of this kind of genius treasure must be cut off from somewhere in the stem. In this way, you can get the greatest benefit, and you will not cut the grass and remove the roots, so that the comprehension principle flower can leave a ray of life. After thousands of years, it may bloom again. Alchemists would do this when collecting medicinal materials. However, Yang Kai felt that even if he left a glimmer of life for comprehension principle flower, he would only give Zilong and Su Wei a chance in the end. So he directly decided not to give these 2 old foxes any opportunity to take advantage. Hey, this is the legendary comprehension principle flower. It is not bad. It has 9 petals and is lavender. It seems to be at least 3,000 years old. Now it has developed, and it will be useful when being promoted to the Void King realm. I'm not afraid that there's no good stuff. Even if I don't use it, it's good to take it out and exchange something. I believe many people will like it. Yang Kai said as he took out a jade box from his space ring and opened it and carefully put the comprehension principle light into the jade box. His movements were slow, and the whole process was clearly seen by Zilong and Su Wei. Inexplicably, the two Void King realm powerhouses all felt their hearts dripping blood. This bastard is definitely doing it on purpose. Su Wei and Zilong had such a thought in their hearts at the same time, and they hated Yang Kai more and more in their hearts. This kind of thing is like a hungry person who has not eaten or drink for a few days. Suddenly there is a table in front of them with delicious flavors of mountains and seas. Not only can they not eat these delicacies, but they have to endure the people sitting at the table eating them. This is simply a torture. Yang Kai is undoubtedly sitting at the table and eating the foods and drinks, and talking about this delicious things so that people can hear them. The second plant, as Yang Kai spoke, he plucked another comprehension principle light and put it in his jade box. The action is exactly the same as before, and it's horribly slow. Zilong took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He didn't want to look at it anymore, he treated it simply as if he didn't see it anymore. To be continued.